and welcome to Toyota Arena in Ontario, California for a Sunday night sizzler here in the Major Arena Soccer League. The Empire Strykers are going to take on the back-to-back reigning, defending Ron Newman MASL Cup champion Chihuahua Savage. And of course, we're watching this on CBS Sports, Golazo Network. My name is Christian Filliman, better known as Philly, and I just want to take a moment to say thank you so much for joining us tonight. And today, I introduce my colleague for the evening, a man I am excited to have on the air with y'all tonight. We call him the Scarf mainly because of his impressive collection of soccer scarves, but his mother baptized him with the name J.R. Liebert.
So happy to be here with one of my best friends and my partner in pod. This is going to be electric here at Toyota Arena. The champs are in the building. The two highest scoring teams in the MASL ready to face off here in Ontario.
It's been almost 2 years since the Empire Strykers got a win over the Chihuahua Savage, but they did so underneath the bright lights of Toyota Arena. But the last 5 contests have been dominated by the Savage, including the home opener down in Corner Sport Arena in Chihuahua, Mexico, where the Savage won 10-3. Now, as impressive as Chihuahua is at home, undefeated, they've shown signs of vulnerability on the road. A 2-2 record, dropping contests to both the Kansas City Comets and the San Diego Sockers. The question tonight is, do the Empire Strykers have enough firepower to add that third loss to Chihuahua's road record?
So you're saying there's a chance, just 2-2 on the road this season. Empire, will they dethrone the champs? Make sure you tune in and watch.
So much to unpack and unfold, and of course we're going to do so, but we're going to take a moment for a quick break, and when we return, we get down to the business of indoor soccer. It's the Savage taking on the Strykers, and you are watching it. The Major Arena Soccer League on CBS Sports, Golazo Network.
The Inland Empire is comprised of so many amazing cities and communities, and in Toyota Arena tonight, it is the City of Fontana night, and I am joined by the mayor herself, Aquanetta Warren. Mayor Warren, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you for having us. We're so excited tonight.
Oh, we are so excited as well. And last year, the Empire Strykers awarded Fontana the 2024 City Partner of the Year. Can you tell everybody why this is such a special partnership and why it's also so important?
Well, we all know that you cannot survive as just a city. We have to be a region. And we're just so proud to be part of this regional effort because that's what it is. This team belongs to all the Inland Empire, and we're going to treat it as such.
Oh, it's such an amazing partnership, Mayor Warren. Thank you so much for this. Thank you to the City of Fontana for their continued support in making this such a special one. I feel like the other cities, it's time to, maybe step up and give you guys a run for your money,
right? You're not
right?
going to get Partnership of the Year slacking, and we're not slacking. We're bringing all of our children and our families together, and everybody's excited, and this is going to continue.
I can't wait. Again, thank you, Mayor Warren, for being here tonight. So happy to see you. Congrats on your award last year.
Thank you.
Live from Toyota Arena in Ontario, California, the Major Arena Soccer League's Empire Strykers take on the defending back-to-back champion Chihuahua Savage. Christian Filliman and J.R. Liebert on the comms with you tonight. We're looking forward to a very exciting battle. But before we do, got to pay those bills. The Major Arena Soccer League is proud to welcome you to MASL Soccer on MASL TV. J.R. Liebert, I welcome you in the booth, my friend. First time you and I have done a broadcast in indoor soccer, but not the first time you and I have been on the air together, my friend.
Now, we've done a lot of great things together, but I want to thank the MASL community, the Empire Strykers. This is my first one of these indoor soccer games in the booth right here, so thank you for welcoming me into your homes. This should be a fun one tonight.
And we are underway live from the bright lights at Toyota Arena, Southern California. It's a sweltering 76 degrees here in Ontario. Big reason as to why I moved out from the Northeast.
Luckily, we're indoor and have very good air conditioning here at Toyota Arena.
Strikers on the counter already. Munir Alami, the rookie, breaks open the save by Chihuahua's keeper, Diego Reynoso. And look, this is going to be an interesting contest. This is the second time both teams have met in this season. Down at Corner Sport Arena to kick off the indoor season, the Strikers went down to Mexico. They lost 10-3 to the Chihuahua Savage. But as we alluded to in the pregame, Chihuahuas looked vulnerable on the road. Bigger arenas comparatively to their Corner Sport Arena. And there's a shot into the net by Chihuahua. Line change, and yeah, it's going to be an interesting contest. 2-2 on the road, as we alluded to, and they've looked vulnerable.
So you're saying there's a chance. 9-0 at home is Chihuahua, but it does take a Herculean effort to beat them on the road. 23 saves from Willie B wasn't enough as they outshot the Wave 58-17. It is tough to beat Chihuahua no matter where we are, but I like our chances here tonight in Ontario.
Savage have played 13 games so far. They're 11-2-0. As we see George De Leon crossing that yellow line with the bounce pass into Ciro Oliveira, taken away by Cesar Ruiz. Look, Chihuahua, they're the leading scorer, they're the highest scoring team in indoor soccer, coming into today's game with 122 goals. And despite the fact, great move by Andy Reyes on the spin, gets taken away by Arturo Valle, but despite the fact that the Strikers are 6th in the MASL, they're the second highest scoring team in the league.
Yeah, second most goals in the league, but that's 38 behind the Chihuahua Savage. 122 goals for, just 61 against. Plus 61 so far on the year, and we're only, what, 13 games into their season? Yikes.
They did have a very lopsided victory against the Tacoma Stars a couple of weeks ago at home where they scored over 20.
Yeah, they're able to put up goals in bunches. The fun part about tonight, Philly, 18 players in MASL, 10 or more goals, 7 of them will be on the pitch tonight here at Toyota Arena.
One player in particular that the Savage will be without, Hugo Puentes. One of the top 10 scorers in the MASL will be sitting this contest out. Both teams competing again here on Wednesday. So he will be competing in that contest.
Yeah, a little bit of load management possibly there for their second leading scorer, Hugo Puentes.
Yeah, there's been nobody that hasn't traveled, and the players that haven't featured here, well, they're in the M2 competing against the Wichita Wings. So not an issue with Chihuahua bringing players across the border, which is good because, I mean, we see some of the highest talent in the MASL on this roster. As we mentioned, back-to-back champions in this league. Tough team to compete with, at home or on the road.
Yeah, those players, they bring their shooting boots. Philly, last 4 matches of the season for Chihuahua, averaging 50. That's right, 50 shots per match.
It's unbelievable. Ball gets intercepted, taken away. Luis Medrano, but George De Leon, the chip, and that just goes wide. I know Clayson DeLima is counting his blessings. There's a shot saved by DeLima.
Huge save there by DeLima. What we've seen from Empire this year, right, Philly, is they bring that goalie all the way up to be part of the attacking 6. Clayson got back in plenty of time, though, and made a beautiful kick save.
Great stop, denying Miguel Angel Diaz of a goal. And you talk about how Clayson DeLima has come up. The Strikers are going to platoon their keepers, utilizing a lot of the strategies that head coach Anu Abbasi had at the TST. A shot by Justin Stinson clangs off the post. Justin Stinson, one of the finest midfielders you will see in the indoor game, and the Strykers' second leading scorer.
Yeah, Stinson with 20 points on the season, 14 goals to put him 6th in MASL. And remains to be seen, Philly, if we can get this high-pressing system with the keeper all the way up to work and win playoff games. That's the goal for Empire this season.
And Reynoso is going to come up top, trying to bang it into the left side of the Savages' attacking third. Jorge Rios, Pareja as they call him, was the MASL Cup MVP a couple of seasons ago. Spent most of last season injured, but he's in the conversation for Golden Boot. 16 goals on the season, a deadly weapon that Chihuahua possesses.
Yeah, leading league in scoring with 27 points. Number 1 in power play goals as well. Something to watch for in case Empire gets in the penalty.
Strykers trying to get out of their side of the turf. Randy Martinez, the sophomore, mention it as if he's in college in his second season. Marco Fabian, the pass off the wall to Martinez with some space to operate. Tried to go up the middle to find Munir Alami. Does not get it.
Yeah, that pass just splitting Fabian and Alami. Chihuahua love to possess the ball, but normally Empire doing a pretty good job right now of keeping the ball in our attacking third, or in their attacking third, I should say.
Restart, Robert Palmer. Shot by Fabian, at least he looked like a shot. Stinson's gonna pass it in to Palmer, just threaded through, but missed Palmer's feet. And Rios, pressured by the defender of the year, intercepted by Stinson. Stinson putting a couple of Savage players on skates as Ciro Oliveira is gonna reset the offense. 5 minutes in, and Strykers have held the lion's share of possession thus far. We see Clayson DeLima well outside of his box, operating as that 6th attacker. Ball comes into Oliveira. Oliveira finds DeLima. DeLima open with a shot, saved by Reynoso.
DeLima's got to hustle back. I mean, he was well ahead of that attacking yellow line for Empire, but he finds himself all the way back in between the pipes. That's why they have to rotate these keepers. Every quarter, they'll switch it off.
Diego Reynoso, who just made the save for the Savage, was the MASL second team last season. One of the finest keepers you'll see in indoor soccer, and a veteran. Decade worth of playing here in this indoor league. A legendary career. Heck, he even goes back to the PASL days. Pass comes into Arturo Valle, and he wraps up Abdul Mansoure and have a late whistle, but the Strykers are going to regain possession here with 8 minutes and 58 in the first quarter.
Good job there by Mansoure to box out in the corner.
So the Savage, in their last contest, had an interesting game against the Tacoma Stars, a game in which Tacoma really gave them a battle, but Chihuahua held on, winning 4-1. They played in Milwaukee, a game in which they had to take the Wave to overtime to win. But then you look at that crucial game at Cable Dahmer Arena against the Kansas City Comets, basically a repeat of last season's championship game. The Comets won 5-2, and Philip Ejimadu, who's very much well known in these parts, is a former member of LAFC, had an outstanding effort in that contest. Ball off of the boards, taken away by the Savage. Strykers tried to connect with Abdul Mansoure on that left corner. Carlos Hernandez, his nickname is Popper, bangs it off of the wall, taken back by the Strykers.
Yeah, Philly, what we've seen is it does take an extraordinary effort to beat the Savage, even on the road. You mentioned their last match against Tacoma. It was 1-1 until Chihuahua scored 2 quick ones to start the fourth quarter, 2 goals in a minute 14. How about 28 saves from Chris Toth in the losing effort?
Headed out of the box by Diego Reynoso. Yes, Chris Toth, just a fantastic effort. And that's what it's taken, Herculean efforts against the Savage. They, as we mentioned, the highest scoring team in the Major Arena Soccer League. Robert Palmer was Defensive Player of the Week in Week 8. Ball comes back into Randy Martinez. Martinez, who got the start today. Martinez getting significant minutes here. Scored in back-to-back games against Tacoma. Empty net as pressure is applied by Eric Tovar on George De Leon, but he kicks it out of danger. And Reynoso is going to boot it high into the air. That takes a funky monkey bounce.
Yeah, he fanned on that one.
As Randy Martinez picks it up. Tony Delatorre back to Martinez. Into Palmer. And we see the Savage starting to press up high. Good ball movement. It's DeLima in the attacking zone.
This is trouble.
Picked away by Mansoure, but he runs into a Savage brick wall.
Yeah, but the effort by Mansour saving a goal. De Lima was all the way up top. That was going to be trouble for Empire. Great job by Abdul Mansour.
Strikers usually cycle through 3 keepers: Brandon Gomez, Brian Orozco, who you will more than likely see in the second quarter, and Clayson De Lima. De Lima's the only keeper who has not scored yet this season for the Strikers. Off the wall, a shot just misses by Lopez. And that would have been a highlight reel had he connected. Ball taken away by the Savage. And while he didn't make the shot, he reconnected. Shot saved by De Lima, denying Medrano.
Jose Gilberto Lopez getting on his bike and going for a ride. Great save and another good defensive stand by Empire early on, but it's going to be one of those games. The pressure from Chihuahua, relentless.
De Lima delivers it. Strikers with possession. There's Emmanuel Aguirre. Aguirre coming back to Empire after having spent a couple of seasons playing for the Texas Outlaws. And Emmanuel Aguirre finding the back of the net on several occasions this season.
Yeah, 2 of those game winners so far for Empire, so really happy to have Aguirre back in the fold, number 17.
Stinson, the most identifiable player on the turf with that pink hair. And there's going to be a foul on the turf. I believe that's going to go against Gallegos for a foul on Aguirre or Rios. Either way, the Strikers maintain possession.
It'll be Aguirre on the restart.
He's going to chip it in and out of play.
Into the bench.
And with that, we're going to head into immediate timeout, folks. 5 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. No team has scored. It is still 0-0. Back in a moment.
With 6 miles, runway 6 right, clear to land.
Across the nation, MASL players are giving back, utilizing their professional power to touch and inspire people in their local communities nationwide. Free soccer clinics, where kids can meet their heroes and learn new skills. After-school programs and special events. And surprise visits to the classroom. Visiting brave kids in the hospital, bringing joy and hope. Supporting special needs care, partnering with local businesses, and so much more. MASL, passion on the field, purpose off the field, committed to community.
MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. Green Drop offers a better alternative than the outdated compression sleeves and socks, truly providing long-lasting relief at affordable prices. Green Drop's recovery products are uniquely suited to help our athletes battle aching joints and muscles. Learn more or try it yourself by visiting greendropcompression.com. Back on the call today here with 5 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in the first quarter. My name is Philly. I am joined by J.R. Liebert, lovingly known as the Scarf. Both teams deadlocked at 0-0. We've seen the Empire Strykers really controlling possession, but the Savage have started coming on strong as of late.
Yeah, Savage keeping Empire on their heels, but bending but not breaking. We're still 0-0, 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
And that's a dangerous man, Jorge Rios, taking a shot, but the ball gets deflected off of Emmanuel Aguirre. Escalante thought about it for a second. The captain, Brian Macias, he hits it directly into Aguirre. And Aguirre starting to collect blocks as if his name is Robert Palmer. Robert Palmer, of course, the captain of the Empire Strykers, one of the leaders in the league in blocks, but Emmanuel Aguirre holds his own as well.
Yeah, came into the game 30 blocks on the season so far for Beto. Second in the league behind Chad Vandergriff, who he needed 10 blocks the last time he played the Savage as well.
Escalante, he's a man who has a rocket for a leg. No stranger to shooting it from distance. Keep an eye on number 4. Escalante, one of the most feared defenders in the indoor game.
Yeah, 7 players on Chihuahua with 8 goals or more on the season. Everywhere you look, there's a player who can score on the Savage.
And they have a player that they're not even utilizing today in that of Hugo Puentes, one of the top 10 scorers in the league this season. Nice drop pass into Arturo Valle. Valle gonna identify his options going back to Romero. Romero going into Tovar. De Lima's gonna come outside of his box, kicking it off of the wall. The ball is loose. Poked away by Andy Reyes, a close call.
Yeah, that's what we've seen from these teams that are playing Chihuahua this season. That bend but don't break very quickly becomes break. That's what cost Milwaukee late in overtime. Long distance shot there just high.
Arturo Valle off of the mark, but very close. Valle, his nickname Pilo, in his 4th season in the MASL. And that's going to be a whistle going against the Strikers for the trip. 3 minutes and 27 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Abdul Mansour with the trip from behind.
Last time the Strikers managed to win in this building against the Savage, March 17th, 2023. A game in which Frank Tayu scored 4 goals, and Jorge Rios, who is on the turf today wearing number 16, had himself a hat trick. It's really been Chihuahua's series, though, 9-2 historically. Great pass in, just missed. Lopez Martinez, he gets his pocket picked by Romero. Wide open opportunity, and there's the counter. The defensive error by the Strikers leads to a great counter by Chihuahua, and the Savage go up by a score of 1-0.
Jaime Alejandro Romero, the pocket gets picked, and you won't find a more open goal than that one. What a pass to Jose Gilberto Lopez, number 14. Puts it in the back of the net. No goalie in sight for Empire, and just like that, the Savage are up 1-0 with 3:01 to go in the first quarter.
It's a team that you can't make mistakes against because they're going to make you pay. And you saw the defensive error, the pocket picking, and of course the goal by the Savage.
Yeah, we said bend but don't break becomes break very quickly, and you saw it right there.
Fabian is going to go down. I believe Gallegos is going to get whistled for the infraction. Gallegos, his nickname Pony, in his 3rd season in the MASL. You're looking at me as if I just made that up. No,
no.
It's literally written down.
Gotta wonder, too, when these Savage players get to play against a player the caliber of Marco Fabian, right?
And shot by Fabian.
Woo! There he is.
Pawed away by Reynoso. Of course, Fabian very well respected. George De Leon, and a beautiful pass in to Alan Perez. And within seconds of Chihuahua's goal, the equalizer by the Empire.
1-1 the score, and again, it's the pinpoint passing. This one had a lot on it there into the back of the net in a hurry. Just like that, Empire with the answer. Philly, if this is what we're going to get over the course of these 4 quarters, sign me up.
Second goal of the season for Alan Perez. And it couldn't have come at a better time. 2 minutes and 40 remaining here in this first quarter. Strikers quickly answer the Savage's goal.
Wow. 1-1 in a hurry, and things have picked up here at Toyota Arena. But look out, here's the pressure once again, forcing Clayson to kick that one up and over the glass.
And that'll be a top-of-the-arc restart right here. Dangerous play as De Lima was under duress. And the Savage, just tough team in this type of situation. At the start of this reset is going to be Carlos Hernandez, his nickname Popper. He's been a part of this league for quite some time, 6th season in the indoor game. Dumped off Rios, shot saved by De Lima, denying Tovar.
Great save by Clayson. De Lima ranging to his right, getting both hands on her. Now Empire on the break.
Alami to Reyes. He had Randy Martinez to his right, who would have been wide open for that one-on-one opportunity. Just a missed chance on the counter for the Strikers.
Yeah, it'll be a corner restart for Empire. Great job on the break, but Chihuahua able to get back.
And we have a quick goalkeeper change as Clayson De Lima's on the bench right now. In comes Brian Orozco. Orozco scored 10 seconds into a shift in the second quarter in the last game that the Strikers had here.
Yeah, jumped into the stands after the goal, too. Orozco, the more offensive-minded, I would say, between the two keepers.
Restart for Palmer on the corner. Fabian fires up, shot well outside and into the netting. It's going to be a goalkeeper restart for Reynoso. And with that, Orozco is going to come off. Back in comes De Lima. Rios. He's going to opt to go into Escalante. Escalante back to Pareja. Escalante with space, thought about firing it, passes it into Brandon Gonzalez. He has Munir Alami marking him. And the Savage are going to try to spread the ball across, stretching the Strikers' defense. Getting close to that 90-second mark. Off the wall from Macias. Alami heads it out of danger. Stinson picks it up. Back to Aguirre. Quick ball movement. Stinson in trouble. Just one of the best dribblers. It is very hard to dispossess Justin Stinson. He is a wizard. But dispossession happens to Ciro Oliveira. The pass intended for Macias is missed. Alami on the counter. He has Stinson to the left of him. Shot. He just clanks it off. And another attempt by George De Leon. Just off target.
Stinson calling for it there on the left-hand side. He's chirping a little bit as he heads to the bench. He wanted that one a little bit earlier or at all, but didn't get it. And now here comes Chihuahua back the other way, already across midfield.
Approaching that 60-second mark here at Toyota Arena. Both teams at 1-1. And you could just feel the vibes here in Toyota Arena.
Oh yeah, it's nervous time here already in Ontario. Not quite the offensive firepower, the shootout that we expected, just 1-1 so far. But both teams excellent defending, more so for Empire.
Speaking of excellent defending, Swift to Palmer, Palmer back to De Lima. Strikers have 30 seconds to fire one off. Mansoure with the touch. Still hangs on to it. Taken away by the Savage. Romero is going to hold off.
15 seconds.
Into Valle. Across into the attacking third. 10 seconds. Pass comes back out to Valle. Hernandez calling for it. 4 seconds remaining in the quarter. He's going to have to look up and fire. And I don't think the Savage were aware of the game clock. But that's it, folks. 1-1 here in Toyota Arena. A quick goal by the Savage and a quick response by the Strikers has us locked at 1. We're going to head into a break. When we come back, the start of the second quarter, you're watching the MASL on CBS Sports, Golazo Network. Catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV and on CBS Sports Golasso Network. Alex Bostjavansky and Ayo Phil Levanko are joined each week by special guests from around the league to recap the weekend's games and discuss the league's hot topics. Both teams tied up at 1-1. Scarf, what we got for goal scores?
I mean, Jose Gilberto Lopez off of pinpoint passing, and less than a minute later, it's Alan Perez, and dare I say, Empire answered in the same fashion. We thought we'd see a shootout, 1-1, not that, but the quality over quantity in that first quarter, it has been electric here at Toyota Arena. These two teams have combined for over 200 goals already on the season. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more before the end of this one.
For Lopez, scoring his 9th goal of the season. For Alan Perez, his 2nd of the campaign. In comes Brian Orozco, no surprise to many as the Strikers have platoon keepers. An opportunity by Stinson is missed.
Great pass there by Orozco off the window to Stinson, just high.
There's a scrum in the corner, won by the Savage. I take that back. That's how quickly indoor soccer moves, folks.
Marco Fabian.
Marco Fabian, of course, a gold medal winner at the 2012 Games with Team Mexico. Randy Martinez thought about it for a second. Into the goal scorer, Alan Perez tried to find Marco Fabian. Perez had the space, could have been a little more selfish rather than trying to connect with Fabian, but as we've seen time and time again, Marco Fabian knows how to find the back of the net.
Yeah, lots of space there for Perez down low too.
Pass from Martinez intended for Stinson. There's a shot. Oh my Lord, that was so close. Savage would have scored the goal of the week, potentially the goal of the month. And I know we're just starting February, but there was your candidate just above the crossbar.
There you see, that's the bad side of the coin when you bring your keeper all the way up the way we do. Here's the good side, though. Brian Orozco taking it all the way past the attacking yellow, and Justin Stinson fouled in the corner.
Fouled by Lopez. A very close call, by the way.
MGR Real Estate is Southern California's largest independent family-owned real estate company, providing commercial sales and leasing, residential sales and leasing, property management, and homeowner association management. MGR Real Estate, a proud sponsor of the Empire Strykers.
Palmer on the restart. Into Fabian. Comes off of Escalante. Ball is loose. Picked up by Alami. The rookie out of Morocco. Scored the Strikers' first goal of the season. A beautiful header down at Corner Sport Arena, actually. It was courtesy by Quentin Swift. If you go back to that game, one of the prettiest goals you will see. Header-to-header goal.
Yeah, the first of a dozen so far on the season for Munir Alami.
What a year he's been having. Played in the Moroccan First Division. Part of the youth program for the Moroccan national team as that ball comes out of play and nearly hits
I was going to say,
sideline
nearly hit your wife. Goodness.
And Panda needs to stay active in the booth for multiple reasons.
Not
just
that
to have, not just to assess the game, but of course to be aware of contact. Ball comes into the corner.
Head on a swivel. That's why we love the MASL. Doesn't matter where you're sitting. You can be part of the action. Certainly here at Toyota Arena. Look out.
One of many reasons to love indoor. The greatest show on turf. And I know that's a term reserved for the St. Louis Rams, but it's not Super Bowl weekend, folks. It's a Sunday night sizzler in the Major Arena Soccer League. Pressure applied by Oliveira on Diaz. Miguel Angel Diaz in his 2nd year in the MASL out of Juarez, Mexico.
And they're going after your wife twice now here in the quarter. By the way, there's still an indoor connection there to the greatest show on turf. Kurt Warner, former Iowa Barnstormer, right?
Wow, you really dug for that one, didn't you?
Tried.
I appreciate that. Well done, my friend. Aguirre into Reyes. Reyes, who's the leader on the Strikers for assists this season. A veteran of this league, continues to get better time and time again. There's an empty netter and a goal. A wide open empty net goal by Jaime Alejandro Romero. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. And at that point, the Savage stab it into the back of the net, threading and shedding the netting.
Number 17, Jaime Alejandro Romero with the goal. Wide open net, and we talked about it earlier. When you bring your keeper all the way up, this is what can happen. And when you do it against a club that scores as many goals as the Chihuahua Savage do, this can be a regular occurrence. We're hoping it won't be, but it is now 2-1 Savage.
Romero and Lopez, the 2 goal scorers for the Savage, came into today's game with the exact amount of games played, goals, assists, and points, and we could say that they're continuing that trend.
Yeah, there's some nice parity there. 11:45 to go here until halftime. Look, Empire answered within a minute the last time. Maybe they can do it again here in the second quarter.
Checking in is Polo Hernandez, the rookie, shifting his minutes between the Empire Jets, which is the second team of the Empire Strykers. They played in a very spirited game against Turlock earlier at Toyota Arena, winning in overtime. Shot by Tony Delatorre, another shot by Fabian off of the mark. Taken away by the Strikers, but negative. That's going to be a whistle going against Empire, a foul on Fabian.
Yeah, Marco didn't like that call at all, but doesn't matter. Referee calls it. It's a foul, so we'll have a restart just behind the yellow.
Of course, our officials today, Daniel Radford, Brian Elliott, Adrian Gonzalez, our 4th official, Viviana Diaz, and our off-field official, Dan Sobieski. Into the corner to Robert Palmer. He's going to kick it up high and out of territory. Valle was pressured by Martinez. Ball's going to bounce in to Cesar Ruiz, but Quentin Swift is going to head it back to Brian Orozco. Swift out of Hartford, Connecticut, product of the University of Hartford, in his second season at Empire. And there's Rios. Rios, a dangerous, dangerous man, Scarf.
Here's another dangerous man, though, Justin Stinson. With the pink hair, a little overstep. Beautiful pass, but off the window, just wide of the goal.
A very close call for the Strikers as they look deadly on the counter. Alan Perez looked to etch his name in this game twice. Just missed it as he slammed it off of the plexi.
Alan Reyes part of the attack for sure here for the Empire. Nice little step over there by Justin Stinson to create a little bit of space, and he's right back on the ball again.
There's Stinson with Hernandez directly in front of him. Will Stinson try to go through? No, negative. He goes into Palmer. Palmer back over to Stinson, who connects back with his captain. And that's going to be a foul against Lopez.
A goal scorer committing the foul, helping Robert Palmer up as well. Good sportsmanship there.
Robert Palmer, a reigning defender of the year, multiple-time defender of the year. Last season, MASL Elite 6. He was a finalist with the Kansas City Comets against the Chihuahua Savage. There's a shot by Stinson that's going to rattle off Savage, and it's going to be a corner kick restart for the Empire. Robert Palmer, of course, has not forgotten his competitions against the Savage. As we mentioned, they competed against one another in the Ron Newman Cup finals. And that's how the Savage won back-to-back championships. Palmer on the restart, tried to find Stinson, broken up.
Stinson wanted a handball call there to no avail.
Valle made the play, kicking it out of the danger zone. Shout out Kenny Loggins. Pass comes in to Marco Fabian.
Is he listening?
Well, I don't know, he might be.
He could be.
Gire into Ciro Oliveira. Trying to utilize Stinson in the attack. Fabian was calling for it, but well out of the attack zone. Stinson recovers, still hangs on to it. Rotates around, rotates back in the offensive third. Tries to cook his defender. Oliveira off of Perez. Fabian has it, back to Perez, into Fabian. Fabian trying to wield his way in. Does not make it, ball is loose. Comes in, Savage on the counter. That's Lopez, the goal scorer, opting to go back to Romero, the other goal scorer. And there's Reynoso. Stolen by Oliveira. Oliveira with a shot. Diego Reynoso with a fabulous save.
What a save, diving to his right. Wow. That one was special. We should be nodded it too. But Diego Reynoso leading this league in wins with 8th, 4th in goals against, 6th in save percentage. There's nothing he doesn't do well. And that save, incredible.
You beat me to it, my friend. I appreciate that. Aguirre to Stinson. Stinson's going to hang on to it. Palmer's going to look like he was reloading the fire in. But back over to Stinson. Stinson calmly just moves the ball around. Such poise and composure by the man from St. Charles, Missouri. Stinson, of course, was loaned out to the Tacoma Stars towards the end of last season once the Empire's playoff hopes were dashed. And Justin had one of his best offensive seasons as a professional indoor soccer player. Into Manir Lamy, who's going to go out to Fabian, but that deflects right off of the Savage. Picked up by Hernandez. Hernandez into that left side. Going to the right to find Gallegos. Medrano, shot saved by Orozco. Palmer with a fine pass threading through the Savage defense, just had a little too much mustard on it as he intended to find Marco Fabian. We're about the halfway point here in the second quarter. It's 2-1, a very low-scoring game, though, for two very high-scoring teams.
Yeah, that's because the defending has been excellent on both sides, although look out, a little bit of space, and there it is. Number 33, Brian Macias with the goal, and just like that, the highest-scoring team in the league knots another. It's now 3-1.
Brian Macias, they call him Flaquito because he's a skinny player, but he's got muscle behind his shot. Wide open there, you see him fire it in past Brian Orozco, and that is the third goal for the Chihuahua Savage.
125 goals on the season now for Chihuahua.
And folks, we're gonna head into immediate timeout with the score, Savage 3, the Strykers 1.
The wait is over. The 2025 MASL season is here. Bigger and better than ever. Get ready for high-speed action, jaw-dropping goals, and fierce competition as your favorite teams battle it out on the field. With intense rivalries, unforgettable moments, and new stars rising, the MASL delivers excitement every week. Get your tickets now and be part of the excitement. Because this season, the action is non-stop.
Are you looking for inspiration? The FYI podcast delivers stories of inspiring individuals like the Strykers, Marco Fabian, Momo, and their remarkable personal journeys.
Because you're going to see people from all parts of life. They're us, everyday people facing everyday obstacles, and how they overcome them is a blueprint for all of us to learn from.
If you want to be inspired, subscribe to the FYI podcast.
Indoor soccer fans, it's time to unleash a giant leap for fandom. Introducing MASL Indoor Soccer Fantasy Football. Build your dream team, invite your friends, and create your own draft league, all for free. Draft and trade players and win bragging rights as your team dominates the league. With MASLI Football, you're not just a fan, you're part of the action. Go to MASLI Football to sign up, get started, and play.
We would like to thank our official hotel sponsor, Ontario Airport Hotel. Conveniently located just 2 miles from the Ontario International Airport and 4 miles from the Ontario Convention Center. Ontario Airport Hotel.
Brian Macias, who just scored for the Savage in his 6th goal of the season, puts Chihuahua up by 2 here against the home team Strykers. And there they are again on the attack, chested off of Brian Orozco. Smart play, heads up. He knows he was outside of the box, can't get his hand on it. Strykers were called for that infraction in the last game. Into that corner, Fabian, just too high of a bounce. Ball is loose. Mansoret in traffic. Hit heavy off the board by the Savage. Scooped right back up by Aguirre. Into Hernandez.
How high Orozco is again on that right side.
We saw him score against Tacoma just a week or so ago from that exact position, although he was wide open. Polo Hernandez, product out of UC Riverside, the Highlanders. In fact, there's quite a Highlanders presence here on the Empire Strykers. You have Alan Perez as well, who spent some time over in the Big West. Fabian, back to Aguirre. It's been all Savage here in the quarter. Brian Orozco with a shot directly off of the side foot of Escalante, and Orozco's going to go into the wall.
And he went in pretty hard on that one, too. Anytime you can give the keeper a little extra business like that, you got to think Chihuahua's going to take advantage. He's coming off kind of holding his lower back or heading back to the goal.
Orozco, a tough kid in his third season in the MASL out of Guatemala City and Riverside. Fabian launches it. Just off of the mark. Stinson back to Martinez.
Got to think we're going to need a moment of Marco magic at some point during this one.
Well, between him and Justin Stinson, we got 2 of the top 10 scorers in the MASL. Passes wide, picked right back up by Gallegos. Javier Gallegos, we referred to him as Pony earlier, was a part of the Savages championship team last season. In his 7th season in the MASL, playing for the likes of the Monterrey Flash and El Paso as well.
Abdul Mansour continuing to provide good pressure for Empire when they're in the attacking third. Reynoso into Lopez. Savage in the attack with 5 minutes. Pass comes into Romero. Romero into Rios. Back over to Romero. Romero already with a goal on the afternoon. Afternoon for us, evening for most of y'all, particularly in the East. And shout outs to all our friends on the East Coast watching today. A couple more games going on in the MASL, which we'll, of course, talk about as they are underway. You have to think Chihuahua content here to just continue to hold possession, pass it around. They're up 3-1. What they've been doing is working. Counter when the keeper gets too high. It's Empire who's got to find a way.
And the Savage, once they started applying pressure on Empire, that's when they really started lighting up offensively. They were really just waiting and testing the waters with how Empire was going to run their attack. And a good portion of the first quarter, it was all Empire with possession, but the Savage have seemed to settle in defensively, offering that high press, not allowing the Strikers any clean looks at Reynoso.
And between that and continuing to force players like Justin Stinson to defend more than attack, that seems to be a working formula for Chihuahua.
They do so many things right. Stinson with the defensive play.
There it is.
Still with it. Stinson with a shot right in to Savage defender. Macias on the counter, sandwiched in between Palmer and De Leon.
Great defending there by Beto Palmer. That's why he was last year's Defender of the Year.
No foul on the turf. See a quick line change by the Savage as Hernandez comes back onto the turf. Palmer tried to find Fabian. Tough touch. Reynoso is going to scoop it back up as Arturo Valle was boxing out Fabian.
It was Valle that took that hard shot from Stinson up top as well. He's got to be feeling that one.
Be a lot of ice baths to be had after today's game. Cesar Ruiz goes backwards to Romero, trying to find Pope Hernandez. Tony Della Torre is there to thwart that attempt. There he is again, poking it out of the Strikers' defensive third.
Gonna have to go here in the half.
Loading up was Medrano. Fabian. Good ball movement, getting himself out of danger. Sweating through that one myself.
Yeah, Marco able to do some things there with the ball that some of us just dream of. It's an absolute treat to get to watch him here at the Empire Strykers here at Toyota Arena.
Just makes it look so effortless. Of course, as we know, having attempted to go on the turf and have a kick about ourselves, that's not easy. Less than 2 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Savage still up by a score 3-1. Reynoso dumps it into the corner. At least he attempted to dump it into the corner for Gallegos. That's going to come out of play. The Strikers are going to regain possession.
At least they're not aiming at your wife anymore.
Well, that's true. I think she took 2 or 3 shots at this point.
Join the Hope Through Housing Foundation in empowering children and families in the Inland Empire and beyond through after-school programs and financial coaching. To learn more and see how Hope is making a difference, visit hopethroughhousing.org.
De Leon goes into Polo. Polo back over to Palmer. Robert Palmer out of Kingston, Jamaica. Graduate of Park University. Always like to shout out the Pirates. Andy Reyes into Orozco. Less than 90 ticks on the clock. And some miscommunication there from the pass between Orozco and Hernandez. Orozco, who's featured for the Guatemalan national futsal team. Played in the U18 side for Comunicaciones. I find that utterly impressive, as Comunicaciones is a team that you'll see in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Speaking of which, that's going to be underway here in just a couple of weeks. Less than a minute remains here in the second quarter. De Leon to Stinson. Can the Strikers pull one back before both teams head into the locker room? Palmer into Orozco, who's got space. He's going to launch it. He had the right idea, but his shot was kicked so hard and so thorough, it actually went through the netting and into the seats.
I was wondering how it did that. It went through the netting. I think it went underneath the netting, but above the plexiglass. Way harder to do than actually scoring a goal. That was impressive, unless you were that poor fan sitting in row H over there on the aisle.
Really appreciate the fan for throwing the miter ball back onto the turf. That is not a souvenir. 43.4 seconds remain. Reynoso gonna launch it through. Escalante heads it backwards, picked up by Alami. Stinson recovers, headed away.
Yeah, Stinson taken down from behind. This will be a foul and a late opportunity for the Empire Strykers. 34.2 remaining.
Foul's gonna go against Brandon Gonzalez. Gonzalez in his 5th year.
And De Leon coming out as a 6th attacker here.
Just like hockey, folks, for those that are unaware and new to the indoor game, you can pull the keeper and utilize the 6th attacker. And the differentiator in this case is the orange bib. I know if you're looking at number 51 on your roster sheet, he does have it backwards. And no, it is not Robert Palmer's number. The restart's going to be Fabian with a shot, saved by Reynoso. Another attempt missed by Aguirre. Two very valiant efforts by the Strikers. Fabian again. De Leon's going to fire it, missed. Fabian with a shot, and he hits the Toyota Arena sign. That one was launched as high as you can possibly get.
I have never seen a ball travel that high in this arena, bouncing off of the Toyota Arena sign. I guess it's a good time to say visit toyotaarena.com.
Well, it's good that Toyota Arena sign is still glued to the wall. As you said, it sees no love, thankfully. Good that it didn't shudder and fall. 10 seconds remaining. Reynoso is going to connect with Gonzalez. Another whistle. Strikers are going to have 5.4 seconds left to fire a shot in. Reynoso's going to hang on to it, folks.
That'll be it.
And that's going to do it for the first half here at Toyota Arena. The Savage go up with another goal, courtesy of Brian Macias in the second quarter, and the Strikers find themselves down by 2 goals. It's been a very entertaining first half.
Yeah, again, not the shootout that we expected, but the defending has been on par for both of these clubs. 3-1. Empire Strykers still well within striking distance, Philly.
Well within striking distance indeed. The Strikers are a team that average about 6.5 goals per game. The Savage about 9.4. We've seen 4 goals thus far between both sides, but as we know in the game of indoor soccer and outdoor for that matter, a 2-goal lead is rarely a lead at all, but as you've alluded to many times during our little media work together, it's still a lead.
Still a lead. If you have me up by 2, I'll take that every single time. But again, we'll have to see in the second half. Will they open it up some more, or will they continue to play the way they have been?
And folks, we're about moments away from a pitch side interview with Panda, as she's going to get the Strikers head coach Onua Obasi's thoughts on the first half. Onua Obasi, the $1 million man in his first year coaching. And we're going to head down turf side. Take it away, Panda.
I'm watching. Hi guys, here I'm with Coach Onua Obasi. You guys are heading into the locker room down 3-1. A couple sloppy giveaways, coupled with a stifling defense of the Savage right now. What are your assessments on this first half?
Yeah, you know, I'm happy that we matched their intensity. They're a team that can come out and overwhelm teams, and they definitely didn't do that to us. So that's a positive. But as you said, 2 mistakes, 2 goals in the second quarter, and you know that's the level when you're playing against the champions, and you know they're so well oiled. you make those silly mistakes and you get punished. But I think we've created enough to be in the game, maybe a little closer than the scoreline maybe suggests, but obviously we have to regroup for the second half.
The Savage have played 2 games already this week. How do you use that a little bit to your advantage going into the later parts of this game?
Well, you know, the Mexican teams are notorious for being very fit, so I don't think maybe the 2 games in the week affects them as much as a normal team. Plus, they have such good depth. You know, one of the things when you're trying to scout them, you know, I counted like 7 1v1 guys, and there's like 4 here today. You know, they got so much quality and depth that I think they can rotate well, and they do rotate well.
Real quick, you started the season against the Savage. Talk to me just real quick a little bit about the difference between that game and those situations to where we're at today.
Yeah, you know, at one point I was thinking it's going to be, you know, a deja vu because we were right in the game, and then they scored 1-2 really quick, and I was like, don't tell me they're going to go on a run here. But you know what, it's similar to that game. We started really well, to be honest, and their set pieces were the difference in that game. But at the end of the day, they capitalize on your mistakes, so we just got to stop making them.
Absolutely. Can't wait to see how this one plays out, Coach. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much, Panda. Great questions and great thoughts from head coach Onua Obasi. It'll be an interesting chess match between Obasi and the head coach of the Chihuahua Savage, Edgar Martinez, but both teams are going to have about 15 minutes to go through things. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, well, you're going to see some highlights and the start of the second half. Philly and the Scarf back in a moment.
With 6 home, from 6 right, we're on.
The wait is over. The 2025 MASL season is here. Bigger and better than ever. Get ready for high-speed action, jaw-dropping goals, and fierce competition as your favorite teams battle it out on the field. With intense rivalries, unforgettable moments, and new stars rising, the MASL delivers excitement every week. Get your tickets now and be part of the excitement, because this season, the action is non-stop.
Are you looking for inspiration? The FYI podcast delivers stories of inspiring individuals like the Strykers, Marco Fabian, Momo, and their remarkable personal journeys.
Because you're going to see people from all parts of life. They're us, everyday people facing everyday obstacles, and how they overcome them is a blueprint for all of us to learn from.
If you want to be inspired, subscribe to the FYI podcast.
Hey everybody, it's Amanda the Panda bringing you another interview from inside the vault, and today I am joined by goalkeeper Clayson De Lima. Clayson, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
All right, so this is your 7th season in this league. We missed seeing your face last season. I want to know what it feels like to be back with this team this year.
It feels amazing. Yeah, missing out last season was very hard on me, you know. Was a hard time to be able to do what I love to do, obviously, but you know, thank God everything worked out. I'm back, and yeah, it feels amazing to be back.
Well, you don't feel like you've lost a step. What did you do while you were gone to kind of stay match fit and ready?
Yeah, obviously over the summer we all played those tournaments. We're having now the TST. I played both TST over the past 2 years, so that helped me, you know, kept like in good shape and everything. And I also kept like just training, you know. And yeah, it feels amazing to be back. And getting back to it.
I mean, clearly you're in good shape, and I don't know if you knew coming into the season you were going to need to be in as good a shape as you are, but with this new style of play that we have seen Obasi kind of introduce to this team, I know it's not new to other realms of football world, but with us,
Definitely,
it's a lot of fun. So can you talk to us a little bit about that tactic, and how do you feel being able to be more of an offensive threat?
Oh no, obviously it's not easy. You know, has been very hard on the goalies. We've been doing a lot of like runnings and stuff, but you know we have the faith on the system. You know, we're doing what the coach wants, and we do believe in it. We've been working a lot, doing extra stuff. You know, trying to adapt to it, and I think you know we've been doing good. Obviously, there is a lot of room to improve still, but. I think we're on the right direction. You know, it obviously, like I said, it's hard, but I think you know we're on the right path.
Yeah, you have two goalkeepers that kind of help with that system, and you don't see that a lot with other teams. But how important is it to have two extra ones that you can kind of cycle in and out for this kind of play?
Oh, it definitely helps a lot because we do get tired. You know that splitting the quarter with Brian, helps us to keep like all the way to the end of the game, and when they need us to go up there, we still like have energy and everything because we're splitting the quarters. So it's a very, very important to have like three goalies. Brandon it's a very good goalie. He's a very good goalie as well. So I think it's obviously very important to have like goalies that can do it.
Absolutely. Yeah, you guys are definitely doing it. It's been such an exciting season so far.
Yeah.
I know you guys are definitely eyeing the playoffs this season, something that has been missing from this team for a little bit, but you're no stranger to the playoffs. It's hard to really forget that 2021 season when you literally put your body on the line for the team. How do you think your experience from that is going to help this team when they make it to that spot?
Obviously, having that playoffs experience helps us a lot. We also have a bet on the team, which helps us a lot. Has a lot of experience. But yeah, we can't forget about the 2021 season. I think it was one of the probably the best season that the franchise have had it. And we obviously will bring that experience for this season. We gotta first keep doing the right things to make to the playoffs, and definitely we will work extra hard to have a good playoffs and hopefully make it to the championship once again.
Absolutely. Tonight's going to be a big test. The next two games are going to be ones. Yeah. Can't wait to see how that all plays out. But Clayson, thank you so much for joining us, and so glad to have you back.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
It was amazing to be back.
Great to have you.
Thank you.
Across the nation, MASL players are giving back, utilizing their professional power to touch and inspire people in their local communities nationwide. Free soccer clinics, where kids can meet their heroes and learn new skills. After-school programs and special events. And surprise visits to the classroom. Visiting brave kids in the hospital, bringing joy and hope. Supporting special needs care, partnering with local businesses, and so much more. MASL, passion on the field, purpose off the field, committed to community.
What's up guys, my name is Ricky Ortiz. I'm a 25-year-old YouTuber with muscular dystrophy. I make videos about my life, me trying new things to get me out of my comfort zone. Today, I had the chance to join the Empire Strykers, thanks to the MASL and National Course Finding Your Inspiration podcast. From stepping onto the field to signing a one-day contract and receiving my jersey. This experience means the world to me. Today is definitely a day I'll never forget.
Shoot! He scores!
What's going on, everybody? This is the MASL in 5. It's your chance to get caught up on everything that went down in the MASL over the past week in just 5 minutes. Let's go.
We're actually going to have a Comet representative coming up. I'll tell you in a second.
Here's Nathan Durdle! He gets his first goal!
Nathan Durdle gets his first MASL goal for the KC Comets on Teddy Bear Toss night, no less. Thousands of bears collected for charity by the Comets, who were taking on the Chihuahua Savage that night. The team, they are trying to unseat as league champions, and the Comets sent a message. They will be a force to be reckoned with. They handed the Savage just their second loss of the campaign, taking it 5-2. 3 days later, the Savage continued their Midwest swing against Milwaukee. This game had everything. Mario Alvarez made it 6-5 wave in the fourth quarter, but with just over 2 minutes remaining, the Mexicans knotted it up. This one needed overtime.
And they work for 1-2. Shot saved by
Oh no.
Augie Ray, but the rebound followed. Gallego scores. And the Chihuahua Savage win it in overtime, 7-6.
And Milwaukee had better luck against Utica, though, 2 days previous. With 47 seconds left in the game, Vinny Dantas ties it up for the Blues off this beauty. But then, the weirdest finish so far to any game this season.
Coughlin's got to make something happen. Ball rolls. Oh no, this one might end. And it does. The wave. The final second of play in the Adirondack Bank Center. And Milwaukee walks away with all 3 points.
With 1 second remaining on the clock. Ouch if you're Utica. Some hot players from last week. Dom Francis continues to have a tremendous season for Harrisburg. The man from Huddersfield, England, had 6 points in 2 games. That included a 4-point performance against Dallas. Jesus Pacheco, hat-trick in an 8-5 blast win over the Sidekicks. Jesus now 14 points on the season so far. And Justin Stinson of the Empire Strykers had a great week for the boys in purple against Utica in the return match. He had a hat-trick, including that beauty right there, getting Philly and the boys out of their seats. The MASL All-Star Game, of course, taking place on February 12th in Utica, New York. It includes an All-Star Skills Challenge at 6 p.m., All-Star Game at 7:15, and followed by the All-Star Fan Fest. After that, it all happens February 12th in Utica, New York. Your Players of the Week brought to you by Green Drop, and they are goalkeeper Philip Ejimadu, defensively Chad Vandegrift, offensively Kelvin Oliveira of Utica. This is just getting ridiculous. After missing several games, he returned. He had 9 points total, 8 points in one single game in a win against Milwaukee, though. Defensively, Vandegrift, talk about a monster game against Chihuahua. Sure, he had 2 goals, but he also had 10, count them, 10 blocks for the Comets, and in between the posts that night, goalkeeper Ejimadu coming up huge as well for KC. 19 saves to go along with 2 assists as well. Okay, time for your Plays of the Week.
Still with Kelvin, and it trickles in. Oliveira scores. It's 5-4. Riggy's right back within 1. Coughlin's got to make something happen. Ball rolls. Oh no, this one might end. And it does. The wave. The final second of play.
Quarterly in indoor soccer. There we see Brian Orozco checking into the game for Clayson DeLima. Que golazo! That was the goal of the game. Brian Orozco jumping into the stands.
And here goes Kelvin Oliveira. Onto his left foot. He finds the back of the net. An absolute strike. Works across, and Alvarez rifles a shot in the top left corner.
Here in the first. Quickly behind. Wally gets one.
Escalante from downtown. Shazam!
Moves in, left side, shot blocked by Tavernisi. Follow-up goal with 1.6 seconds on the clock.
Willie B only finds Oliveira, who can take a shot from distance, and it's in the back of the net. Oh my word, what a strike from Kelvin Oliveira. From his own half, he finds the goal.
Yeah, and just a reminder, of course, that to stay up to date with everything that's going on with the league, including great feature stories, the latest news, statistics, you can head to the MASL's official social media outlets. Thanks so much for watching. See you next week.
Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. MASL TV, subscribe today on YouTube. You'll find game rebroadcasts, MASL shows, highlights, and more. Let's take a look at the halftime stats thus far. The Chihuahua Savage currently on top of the Empire Strykers, 3-1, but that comes by no short effort of Empire.
8 shots in the first half for Chihuahua Savage. That's the big storyline for me. They came in averaging 50 a game in their last 4, held to just 8. But you know what? They've made them count. 3 out of those 8 finding the back of the net.
Can't make any defensive or offensive errors against this Chihuahua Savage team, as they will make you pay. The Strikers have been very much involved offensively. They just need to find the back of the net a couple of more times, but we know that is difficult against the reigning defending back-to-back Ron Newman Cup champions. And we are underway in the third quarter. Philly in the Scarf on the broadcast with you.
Will Coach Obasi, Philly, continue to pull that keeper all the way up into the attacking third here in the second half? That you mentioned it, living by the sword, but also dying by the sword.
Jorge Rios wide open. Pareja strikes and he scores! Jorge Rios in his return to Toyota Arena skirts it through. Clayson de Lima putting the Savage up by a score of 4-1.
Adding to his league-high point total, now 28 on the season. And the keeper was in perfect position there, but he went 5-hole on Clayson de Lima. And that was a quick strike from Chihuahua just 37 seconds into the third quarter.
Devastating strike by Rios, currently with his 17th goal. You talk about the keepers. Clayson DeLima came back in to start this third quarter for Brian Orozco. And for the Savage, Diego Reynoso to the bench, and they bring in Cristian Hernandez, a very talented keeper within his own right. Started last year for the Savage with 8 straight victories, undefeated. His goals against average was amazing, but once the Savage brought back Diego Reynoso, or brought to Diego Reynoso, they've been on a roll. 2 elite keepers, an experienced veteran one in that of Reynoso, and then an up-and-comer who's shown a lot of talent in that of Hernandez. Shot fired away, and another goal. This one, Arturo Valle and Chihuahua. Just like that, threads and shreds through the netting 2 times. We're barely a minute and 30 into the third quarter.
Robert Palmer trying to get on the same page there with Clayson DeLima, forces the timeout. 1 minute and 16 seconds into the third. We saw them do this 1 minute and 14 seconds into the fourth against Tacoma. 2 goals in a hurry.
And if you're Chihuahua Savage head coach Edgar Martinez, you have to be feeling really good about your team's offense thus far. Panda had a question towards head coach Onu Obasi, asking him if he felt that the Savage were at a disadvantage for having played a couple more games than the Strykers recently. But based on what we've seen thus far, barely 90 seconds into the start of the third quarter, rest versus rust means nothing to the Savage.
Yeah, 127 goals on the season. I don't care how many games they've played, they have found a way time and time again to put the ball into the back of the net. And it's not one person, it's not 2 people. Philly, we have 5 goals and 5 different goal scorers for the Savage.
I mean, just the success that they've had since coming into the league during the 21-22 season, which was their inaugural year in the MASL. They were 15-7-2 to start. They lost to San Diego in the semifinals. The following year, 17-6-1. They became the champions, defeating the Baltimore Blast. And then just last year, 16-7-1, they beat the Kansas City Comets. This is a team that has done nothing but win since joining the Major Arena Soccer League.
Yeah, the bicampeones so far, looking to make it the tricampeones, are the Chihuahua Savage. And a 5-1 lead here early in the third has them going in the right direction.
Clayson DeLima dumps it into the corner, but there is no teammate of his there as the Savage try to regain possession, but Emmanuel Aguirre is going to poke it off of the wall into Ciro Oliveira. I don't know much about the sciences, but I can see chemistry. And the Savage, having been together for so long, playing in these off-season tournaments, representing Mexico here in the indoor game against the United States in September, the different Futbol Rapido competitions. I mean, these players on the Savage have competed with one another for years, whereas the Strykers, a lot of veterans on this team, they found their chemistry, but it's tough to compete against a team that's had years worth of playing time together.
Yeah, it definitely bodes well for the Savage. I mean, look, the proof is in the pudding. You don't come in plus 61 on goal differential without having all the chemistry that you need to do great things. And you mentioned it, back-to-back championships. I mean, the trophy case is where you need to prove it, and they certainly have.
And even during that COVID season, they didn't have a team in the MASL, but they did have an M2 team that went 18-0 undefeated and won the M2 championship. A lot of good stuff going on at Corner Sport Arena. I know a couple of people within the MASL community have taken that trip down to Corner Sport Arena. Look, Chihuahua, Mexico, a fine city. If you ever get an opportunity to go down there, you got to stay in Distrito Uno. You see some really phenomenal restaurants, some good food, and obviously some great indoor soccer. Lopez still maintains it after falling down. There's a shot fired into the boards by Romero. Oliveira with a touch, and he's going to dump it as he's going to head to the bench. Quentin Swift and Abdul Mansoure check back in for the Strykers.
Yeah, a bit of a line change here. Randy Martinez will press high up top as well. We mentioned Mansoure pressing well for the Strykers so far.
Rios, his shot deflects off of the Strykers' defense. Had Pareja had himself a clean look, we might have seen the 6th goal of the game. We know the last time that the Strykers did beat the Savage, Rios had himself a hat trick. Mansoure hits the deck, foul against Chihuahua.
Mansoure, he got leveled into pretty good there on the header attempt. It'll be a restart to Empire. You have to wonder, Philly, if Chihuahua's able to get this next goal, How much do you want to keep in your pocket for the game just, a couple of days from now against Chihuahua, so that maybe you don't show them everything here in this first match?
I mean, they have Hugo Puentes, La Roca, The Rock, as it's translated, sitting this one out. They got a couple of players playing M2 for the Wichita Wings. There's an attempt from Fabian trying to find Mansoret into the breadbasket of Christian Hernandez. But look, they're going to be tough regardless. But we've seen them in games where they've had back-to-back contests against the same team. They've come out red hot in the first game, taking their foot off of the brakes, making the second game in whatever competition with whatever opposition a lot closer. But anytime the Savage want to flick that switch and get geared up offensively, they're a devastating team.
Yeah, giving them the opportunity to maybe rest a little bit as well. Already up 5-1 bodes well for that second match, but still plenty of time here at Toyota Arena. 10:41 remaining in the third.
Mansoret, of course, you can't write this one off. And folks, for those of you watching at home for the first time, you might be seeing a 4-goal lead, but certainly not a lead that's unsurmountable.
Yeah, we saw that in the M2 game today, right? The Jets were up 7-2. All of a sudden, we're at 10-10 going overtime.
A game in which the Jets won, beating Turlock Express. Turlock back playing indoor soccer. They were members of the Major Arena Soccer League a couple of years ago. But yeah, a funky bounce leading to a golden goal win for the Empire Jets. Escalante gets himself involved, intercepting a pass that was intended for Mansoret. Scrum by the officials' score table. Strykers regain possession with less than 10 minutes remaining here in the third.
Yeah, good defending there by Polo. He was against the boards, and now it's Robert Palmer. Nice little footwork there by Robert, looking to find Justin, and instead it's Clayson DeLima right in front of Chihuahua's bench.
And Palmer's assisted on the only goal of the game for the Strykers, the beautiful pass into Alan Perez in that first quarter, which gave the Strykers the quick answer equalizer. But since then, 4 unanswered goals by Chihuahua has them sitting with a comfortable 4-goal lead.
Yeah, that quick answer providing a short glimmer of hope for Empire. But 4 straight, yeesh, and they came in a hurry here at the start of the third quarter, those last two.
Backheel pass from Fabian to Stinson. Stinson with a shot. Justin, the stinger. Stinson shredding through the back of the netting. Can this be the goal that gets the Strykers back involved in this game?
Catching Christian Hernandez on the wrong foot. A little bit of a knuckleball there from Justin Stinson as well. The pink cleats to match the pink hair, and the excitement here at Toyota Arena as perhaps clawing our way back from the depths. It is now just 5-2 with 9:10 to go here in the third quarter.
With that goal, Justin Stinson is up to 15 on the season. That's going to add a little bit of electricity into this building. You're starting to feel a little bit of the buzz, and the Strykers looking to get their crowd involved. About 3,100 here in attendance at Toyota Arena. They want to will their Strykers team to a victory against one of the toughest opponents that they will see underneath the bright lights at Toyota Arena.
Yeah, Marco Fabian with the assist on that one. And look, we've talked an awful lot about the 127 goals scored so far by Chihuahua. But in second place in MASL, now with 86 goals on the season, are these Empire Strykers. Do not count them out yet.
Martinez passes it back to Palmer. Palmer into Alami. Alami trying to get by Valle. Does. Connects with Palmer. Just a tough touch.
Yeah, Palmer trying to drag that one back as he had his back to the goal.
And DeLima comes outside of his box. Interesting how far the keeper goes. We know that they've been a big part of the offense, but that's going to give a tough defensive assignment for both Andy Reyes and Emmanuel Aguirre, as Clayson DeLima is in the offensive third for the Strykers. Pass comes off of the head of Brandon Gonzalez. Martinez settles on it, chipped up high by Chihuahua, headed back from Aguirre to Alami.
And we've seen it time and time again. Every time the keeper crosses midfield, Chihuahua bring 3 players up on the high press, and that has allowed for some easy opportunities for the Savage.
Alami tries to skirt it through into Reyes, but once again, Chihuahua's defense comes through. Have 2 players hitting the deck.
Yeesh.
Aguirre, and I think that was Gonzalez. No whistle is called as Alami has it in a trio of Savage defenders. And Alami really tried to fight through Valle to poke it past Cristian Hernandez, but the rookie out of Morocco is going to be called for the foul.
Yeah, you love the fight from the rookie. It's been a stellar first season for Munir Alami, already with 12 goals on the campaign in 12 games. Looking to add to that total here in the third.
Yeah, played, as we said, in the top flight in Morocco. And folks, that's going to send us into immediate timeout. Don't you dare go anywhere. The goal by Justin Stinson has the Strikers very much involved. Back in a moment with more from the MASL on CBS Sports Golazo Network.
Indoor soccer fans, it's time to unleash a giant leap for fandom. Introducing MASL Indoor Soccer Fantasy Football. Build your dream team, invite your friends, and create your own draft league, all for free. Draft and trade players and win bragging rights as your team dominates the league. With MASLI Football, you're not just a fan, you're part of the action. Go to MASLI Football to sign up, get started, and play.
With 6 calls, runway 26 right, clear to land.
Headed to Utica, New York on February the 12th, 2025. Follow the MASL on social media for updates on tickets, rosters, and more. MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. Back here, third quarter at Toyota Arena. Strikers currently down by 3 goals to the defending champion, Chihuahua Savage. They were down by 5-1, 4 unanswered goals, but Justin Stinson stings it through and shreds the netting. 3-goal game thus far.
Yeah, plays opened up a little bit more here in the third, like we knew it had to. Empire continuing to push things forward.
Aguirre in his run tries to bounce it off. There you see the push off. Pushed Medrano away from it. Love the aggressive play by Aguirre. Strikers needing to get into the flow of things aggressively. Alan Perez, who up until Justin Stinson's goal was the only goal scorer for Empire, is attacking there. And there's a run on the ball between Gallegos and Aguirre, but Oliveira is going to pass it back to De Lima. De Lima to Fabian, chested up high off of the air, recovered by Rios. Jorge Rios leading the league in points, one of the top goal scorers in this league, found his name etched into the scoring line earlier. And there's Macias, the captain of the team, gives it away to Fabian. Macias did score in the second quarter. Flaquito, along with a lot of his teammates, competing in that TST tournament for La Bombonera.
Here comes Clayson De Lima up across midfield once again.
Stinson over to Palmer. Time not necessarily a foe for the Strikers, but not necessarily an ally either, as we're more than halfway through the third quarter. Still have another quarter to go. Mansoure with Castañeda pressuring him. Ball comes in, and Cristian Hernandez is going to pick it back up. He goes over to Romero.
De Lima retreating back in between the pipes for Empire. As we mentioned, Chihuahua came in averaging 50 shots a game over the last 4, just 8 in the first half there. But again, making 3 of them count, just as efficient here in the third.
Palmer missed a defensive assignment. Ball is loose. Stinson clears it up. Sticking with it. Taken away by Castañeda. over to Gonzalez.
Yeah, you won't say that very often. Robert Palmer getting beat there on the defensive side of the ball. But he did. Good scrambling defense there, though, by the Strykers. It was Justin Stinson helping us get out of trouble.
A Berto blockade is normally what we see from the multi-time defender of the year. Starting to see the energy pick up a little bit. The pressure by the Strykers trying to cause some havoc anytime that the Savage are trying to approach the ball through to the midfield. Ball comes into Cristian Hernandez.
Yeah, Chihuahua just set. They're absolutely fine with sitting back right now. Like you mentioned, time more on the side of Chihuahua. 4 minutes to go here in the third, up 3.
Escalante back into his portero. Trying to find Macias. Escalante kicks it really high, practically to our eye level. And that ball comes out of play. I think we had near fan interference there. And I think he's going to have official not mentioning anything, though.
No, he was well inside the barrier. Young fan almost got kicked there by one of the Savage players. It would have been unintentional, obviously, but...
And that brings us back to memories of when you and I came to a game here years ago. I think we sat in that exact section.
The referee letting the kid know you did nothing wrong. You were all good there, buddy. That was a nice little moment there from our referee and that fan there in the first row.
What a backheel pass from Palmer into Andy Reyes. Andy Reyes is going to get hit on the board.
That's got to be boarding, yeah. There you go.
There it is, boarding call. That's going to be a 2-minute penalty for the Chihuahua Savage. Now, folks, for those of you who are unaware of what that means, that was a boarding call. That's a penalty in which you're going to have a Savage player go to the sin bin, as you will, and that is Cesar Ruiz. He's going to be in there for 2 minutes, and that's going to give the Strykers the man advantage. As far as how the Strykers have performed on the power play, up until their most recent game against Tacoma, it was rough. Operating at 21% efficiency from the power play. As far as the Savages' penalty kill goes, they're at 83%, so they're a tough team to score on in these situations.
Yeah, you mentioned they're going a man up because of the penalty. Couple that with Robert Palmer putting on the 6th attacker kit. And this is really a spot where they can get one back, cutting that lead to just 2 if they can. And if they do score a goal, that will end the penalty, but it will bring them 1 goal closer to the comeback.
Right you are, my friend. The Strykers were 2 for 3 on the power play in their previous outing. De Leon into the corner to Alami. Alami skirts it through into Justin Stinson. The Stinger with his 2nd goal of the 3rd quarter. It's a power play goal for the Empire.
Record it, cut it, print it. That is how you run the power play. The Empire Strykers putting on an absolute clinic, led by the rookie Munir Alami. The cross-turf pass to a wide open Justin Stinson. I don't know if that was a shot or he just put his boot on the ball, needing to redirect it. What a series of passes, and the goal by Justin Stinson does exactly what we had hoped, getting Empire Strykers to within 2.
7th assist on the season for Alami, 16th goal of the year for Justin Stinson, 5-3. It's a 2-goal game, and a near chip through from Eric Tovar. A near quick answer by the Savage, but Clayson DeLima not to be fooled on that attempt.
Yeah, PA announcer John Spire wasn't even done announcing the goal, and Chihuahua almost got one back, courtesy of Eric Tovar.
And that's how quickly things can change. The momentum can change in indoor soccer. That boarding call came up huge for the Strykers as they hit 2 consecutive games with power play goals.
Yeah, that was a rough penalty as well. Good thing Strykers can capitalize on that. You don't want one of your players getting boarded like that, and then you leave the 2 minutes unscored upon.
Jaime Alejandro Romero is going to dump it into Carlos Hernandez. Popper, as they call him, down in Chihuahua. Into the corner, a battle between Randy Martinez and Javier Gallegos. And we have a whistle on the turf.
Not sure what more Randy Martinez can do there. That just looked like a good 1v1 battle. But clearly Randy Martinez objecting to the call.
Randy Martinez out of Fontana, California. And speaking of which, it is Fontana night, the Strykers 2024 City Partner of the Year. On the broadcast, you did see Panda with the interview with the mayor of Fontana. We're going to speak more about our City Partner of the Year momentarily. But, of course, we got to get back to the business of indoor. Restart for the Savage. Shot just missing.
Barely.
Absolute rocket there by Chihuahua.
And that's a heavy miter ball, too. Just the miles per hour. Had he been there, that would have been a rough black and blue mark. Aguirre.
Aguirre losing a tire there on that one, but he gets it right back on, ready to go.
A close call. The Strikers can ill afford to lose somebody as talented as
lots of
Aguirre.
space.
Plenty of space. De Lima with a shot. But Eric Tovar is there with the rebound, ending the Strikers' 2-goal streak. They've doubled up the lead. It is now 6-3 Savage.
The save was made there by Clayson De Lima, but unfortunately waiting right on the doorstep after the shot by Arturo Valle. That was number 15, Eric Tovar. And yes, 6 goals, 6 different goal scorers for the Chihuahua Savage, up to 128 goals on this season.
I didn't realize you were keeping count.
I mean, I can add 122 and 6.
You are a math teacher in your other profession, so the fact that you are a molder of young minds and you're good at it, well, that bodes well for the kids in your classroom.
Foul call there against the boards. I believe that was Alan Perez.
And just like that, you could feel the air come away from the Strikers' offensive sail.
Yeah, the air got let out of the building just a little bit there on that one. But you know what? Still plenty of time. We've seen Empire be able to find the back of the net a couple of times here in the quarter. They need to get the next one, though. And if it can come in these next minute and 20 seconds or so, that would be big going into the fourth quarter.
Still plenty of time to go. Eric Tovar in his 8th season in the MASL, the goal scorer. He had a situation where he tore his ACL, but he's recovered from there. A 2015 NASL champ with the Monterey Flash, as we see Clayson De Lima dive on the ball, basically throwing his body at everything as Brandon Gonzalez was offering him pressure. Less than a minute remains here in the third quarter. Justin Stinson with some great footwork, and that ball comes out of play. The Strikers are going to have possession here with 59.9 seconds.
Yeah, Marco Fabian right against the boards there. Little back heel to Justin Stinson on the restart, and Robert Palmer at midfield.
And we might see 251s on the field as the Strikers employ the 6th attacker. I think that's George De Leon.
I believe you are correct.
Into the corner to Alan Perez. De Leon battling with Lopez. Ball is loose, picked up by Diaz. Fabian poked it back.
Great hustle
to
by
Perez.
Fabian on that one.
Great hustle indeed by Marco. Stinson already with 2 goals. Fabian into Palmer. 10 seconds remain. And Berto tried to find Alan Perez cutting through on that left side, and that ball gets headed up out high and out of play. It's going to be a corner kick restart for the Strikers. 8.3 remaining here in the third. Palmer on the restart. Take a look on your screen. De Leon wide open on the opposite side, as is Fabian. The chip into De Leon. The touch, the pass in the Palmer. Kicked up and out of the air by Lopez.
2.8. We'll have one more restart.
And Palmer motioning for a top-of-the-arc restart. The officials are going to just pinpoint it back on the corner. Ciro Oliveira is going to come off. Strikers are still going to utilize that 6th attacker. Oliveira off, in comes Olami. 2.8 seconds. It's going to have to be a quick shot. Fabian loads up the one-timer, saved by Hernandez. Another opportunity, a close call as Marco Fabian's shot looked like it had the trajectory, but Cristian Hernandez with an amazing save, and that concludes the third quarter, folks. The score currently has the Chihuahua Savage 6, the Empire Strykers 3. We will be back in a moment after a short break for the start of the fourth quarter. The wait is over. The 2025 MASL season is here. Bigger and better than ever. Get ready for high-speed action, jaw-dropping goals, and fierce competition as your favorite teams battle it out on the field. With intense rivalries, unforgettable moments, and new stars rising, the MASL delivers excitement every week. Get your tickets now and be part of the excitement, because this season, the action is non-stop.
Are you looking for inspiration? The FYI podcast delivers stories of inspiring individuals like the Strykers, Marco Fabian, Momo, and their remarkable personal journeys.
Because you're going to see people from all parts of life. They're us, everyday people facing everyday obstacles, and how they overcome them is a blueprint for all of us to learn from.
If you want to be inspired, subscribe to the FYI podcast.
You just saw some fine footage of the city of Fontana, the 2024 City Partner of the Year for Empire Strykers. For those of you not in the know, Fontana is a city 46 miles east of Los Angeles, and it's the 20th largest city in California. What started out as a steel mill town shortly after World War II is now a regional hub for the trucking industry, as per our friends at Wikipedia. And a couple of notable famous people from Fontana. A good friend of ours, Maurice Adu.
Yes, sir.
Somebody we don't know but would like to know, the drummer of Blink-182, Travis Barker. Troy Percival, Angels pitcher and World Series winner with the Angels in '02, and a member of the UC Riverside Highlanders. And, of course, for you rock and roll fans out there, man, Sammy Hagar of Van Halen, Montrose, and Chickenfoot.
Listen, my junior year of high school will never be the same. A 60-yard field goal from Fontana High School's Chris Cluey, who went on to punt for the Minnesota Vikings, among other teams in the NFL. A 60-yarder in high school, Philly, ended our junior year football season at Loyola.
Brian Orozco into Fabian. Thought he had Fabian. He's going to have to hustle back as there's an open net. Strykers do a good job at clawing back, preventing the Savage from having a clean look at goal.
Yeah, Romero with a nice little step in there to take it away for Chihuahua. And now Aguirre, his opposite, number 17 for Empire.
Had Mansoray wide open to the right. An errant pass as Hernandez launches it into the air, into Rios. Rios, that comes off of him. And look, folks, if you disagree with the call tonight, you might just see it on the MASL's most controversial show, under review with Hey Yo Phil Levanko. There he is again. And MASL head referee Ryan Sigich. Catch it every Friday on YouTube. Phil Levanko everywhere in the Major Arena Soccer League.
Sir.
Palmer chips it towards Hernandez. Hernandez off of the wall. And that's going to be a whistle on the turf. Speaking of Phil Levanko, catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV, on YouTube, and CBS Sports Golasso. Alex Boschavansky and that man again, Phil Levanko, are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap the weekend's game and discuss the league's hot topics. And last but not least, while I still have a moment, get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. There you go. I got them all in, Scarf.
Right? One of our referees headed over to the Empire bench. Let's see. Oh, now over to Chihuahua. We want to remind everybody, San Antonio Regional Hospital is a proud sponsor of the Empire Strykers, keeping our community strong, healthy, and active for over 115 years. San Antonio Regional Hospital, here for life.
You know, talking about the city of Fontana, Scarf, I'm not sure if you've ever been to Stage Red. It's an awesome entertainment venue, and I think one of your favorite comedians, Tom Green, will be performing there in April. So,
Tom Green's still doing shows. I love it. He's got a biography or there's a show about Tom Green out right now, right? He like bought a house in the middle of the wilderness somewhere and has been living off the grid for a while. I don't know. I think I'm right.
See, I had no idea, and that's why I said he's your favorite comedian, because clearly you had more knowledge. But, folks, if you're coming out to the Inland Empire and you're looking for things to do, check out Stage Red in Fontana. City of Fontana night here in Empire.
And sixth attacker, by the way, Robert Palmer.
And this time it actually is Robert Palmer.
It is Robert Palmer in the 51 jersey. There you go.
Wearing the sixth attacker Robert Palmer jersey. Fabian on the restart goes back over to Palmer, whose nickname is Berto, connecting with Stinson. He's been the Strikers' most potent weapon. His shot rattles off the board. You see how hard that shot went. The plexi was ricocheting back and forth. Stinson once again on the attack, runs right into a buzzsaw, and by buzzsaw I mean Javier Gallegos. Stinson once again with possession into the corner. De Leon with a shot. He was wide open, and that's going to corral into the net. Both teams are going to go through a quick line change. For those of you unaware, unlimited substitutions in indoor soccer.
And Brian Orozco back in goal for Empire, taking off the sixth attacker, Robert Palmer, although he still does have on that orange 51 jersey on his bench.
Hernandez into the corner, trying to find Hernandez. Had to think about that one for a second. Munir Alami on the counter, trying to serpentine his way through a couple of Savage defenders, pushing Valle off of the ball. He still has it. He's going to get tripped up, drawing the foul. That's going to go against Valle. Great aggressive play by Munir Alami, attacking the left corner.
Excellent effort by the rookie Munir Alami. Took it all the way down into the corner, where we now see sixth attacker Robert Palmer again. They're going to need to get those effort plays throughout the entire fourth if they want to come back from this 3-goal deficit.
And look for Palmer to chip that into a wide-open Marco Fabian, who normally doesn't look for the first touch. Looks for that one-timer cannon. Shot by Aguirre right off of Diaz.
Fabian still lurking there for Empire. But the more they can make players like Stinson and Fabian defend rather than attack, it plays right into the Savage strategy.
With the keeper out of position and no keeper at all. Strikers trying to use the man advantage. Shot. And Justin Stinson just got the far end of the foot. Fabian with a shot, just misses.
Oh, Marco Fabian just high and wide on that one, off the glass.
I mean, we had two opportunities for the Strikers that nearly connected through. That would have brought this to a 2-goal game. I know that's going to be an attempt. Justin Stinson would want it back. Macias with a goal. El Flaquito himself, Brian Macias, for his second goal of the game. Savage go up by 4. The score is now 7-3.
The first player to score 2 on the day for Chihuahua is Brian Macias. And Philly, you used this phrase in the first half, so I'm going to use it again. You live by that sword and you die by that sword. And unfortunately today, for Empire, we have seen it work, maybe not as much as they would have liked, but it's bitten them several times, keeping your keeper all the way up, or in this case, the sixth attacker, and now we're down 4.
Brian Macias, his 2 goals now puts him up to 7 on the season, to go along with, actually I'd have to double check the assists, but he does have 2 goals for sure.
on the game. He's the leading scorer so far for the Savage. And a shot near attempt threaded through by Emmanuel Aguirre.
Christian Hernandez, number one. He didn't start out the game between the pipes for Chihuahua, but he has done everything he's needed to do to stay out there on the pitch. Another great save for Hernandez, and now look out.
Into Rios. Rios with the touch. What a defensive play by Polo Hernandez. That looked like it could have been a successfully converted 2-on-1 opportunity had it not been for Polo.
How quickly Chihuahua gets out on the break. We saw the save from Christian Hernandez, and then just like that, they are in the attacking third and humming.
Ruiz on the corner kick restart, backpedals it into Rios. He clanks it off of the right post. Clickety click, clank, clank, off of the ding dong ring-a-ling bell.
You good?
Yeah, I'm all right.
All right. A lot of sound effects there.
A lot of sound effects indeed. Brilliant pass, just misses. Is Lopez.
Jose Gilberto Lopez putting on a little bit of a show there off the beautiful long pass.
Oh, Dios mío, he had himself a highlight reel of a goal opportunity. Emmanuel Aguirre chips it over Lopez into Reyes. Reyes over to Aguirre. Aguirre trying to find the speedy Abdul Mansoure, and that gets headed out of play by Medrano.
We've seen that tactic used several times, by the way. Chihuahua heading it all the way out of play, forcing a restart, but also stopping the action.
The momentum is in their favor. The time is their ally. The Strikers are going to have to put up a Herculean effort to get themselves back in. Stinson's going to hit the deck, tripped up by Jaime Alejandro Romero.
Oh, and we've got a blue card for tripping.
Stinson still down, holding his leg, but what we know about Justin Stinson over the last few years is he takes a beating because he's so aggressive, but he's a tough, tough kid. They build him tough in Missouri, the show-me state. And now the Strikers have a power play opportunity again, their second one of the game. They were successful in converting on the last attempt.
We saw the beautiful passing on the power play. I mean, again, if you are coaching how to run the indoor power play, Empire showed you how their first time with it. They're going to need to do it again to cut this lead back to 3.
Reyes going to be on the restart where he's collected quite a few of his assists this season. Back over to Stinson. Stinson thought about firing it through, goes back over to Palmer, who's wearing the 6th attacker, into Fabian. Fabian to De Leon, back over to Marco.
Cesar Ruiz fired up for Chihuahua, defending Stinson there, 1v1, clapping at him as he was forced to get rid of that ball.
And looks like the Savage in a bit of a diamond. A shot attempt. Oh, De Leon just missed Stinson on that far post.
That was the play they ran last time for Stinson. All he had to do was redirect it. He couldn't get a touch on this one, but here, inside the box, but it'll be corralled by Christian Hernandez.
On a close call. There's
There's
ball.
Christian Hernandez. It's going to go wide.
Just off of the dasher board, in between the recovery lab and MASL part of the dasher board.
Trying to join Brian Orozco in the keeper goal column there.
Stinson. Stinson with a shot. Looked like Alami deflected it far away, but Fabian recovers.
I don't know, that went off the inside of the post.
Shot just above the crossbar from De Leon. Another attempt. Savage in the middle of it, chipped up high. 49 seconds remaining in this power play.
Everybody forward for Empire. 6th attacker, Robert Palmer. They're throwing everything at this power play.
De Leon shot, aggressive ricochets, picked back up by Palmer. 34 seconds remaining in the power play. Stinson to Palmer. Palmer to Fabian. Fabian one-times it. Marco with the goal! And it's a power play goal for Empire.
We mentioned we would need at least a moment of Marco magic in this one, and in the 4th quarter, he provides. Robert Palmer to the top of the yellow, and there was Marco Fabian, the howitzer of the right foot, and Marco Fabian bringing Empire back within 3. There's hope in the building yet from the 2012 gold medalist.
17th goal of the season for Marco the Magnificent. 7-4. Still a hill to climb, but a very climbable hill. And the power play for the Strykers. That's their second consecutive game in which they've scored 2 goals on the power play. An opportunity saved by Brian Orozco, robbing Gallegos of a goal. And we see Gallegos go down. The official's going to blow the whistle.
Yeah, Gallegos went down. I think he collided there, as you can see. Who is that? Is that Polo down there as well? Polo is limping.
Hernandez, yep.
Yeah, and if Polo is limping, I think his knee might have caught Gallegos a little high. Yeah, knee to the mouth it might be.
Oof. That's going to hurt. I don't care who you are or how tough you are. Let's take a look at that replay again.
Oh, a little hard to see on that one.
Yeah, just it happens so quick within the blink of an eye. Shout out to our production staff for trying to give us that replay again. There's Brian Orozco.
I have no idea what happens on that one. Let's see.
I'll reserve my comments for y'all's judgment. What that looked like, it looked far worse than what it was.
It's under review right now. What we also did see was a little hesitation there from Brian Orozco. He got caught in between ideas, and that's what led to the opportunity for Chihuahua. Normally, Brian as aggressive as they come, but they're taking a look.
Well, with that being said, I'm going to give one more shout-out, because why not? Disagree with the call tonight? You might just see it on the MASL's most controversial show, Under Review with Phil Levanco and MASL head referee Ryan Sigich. Catch it every Friday on YouTube. So we were just told it wasn't under review. We play on. So just really quickly while we're waiting, some scores around the league. The Texas Outlaws getting a win against the Dallas Sidekicks today. Kansas City Comets beating Harrisburg Heat. They're underway down in Oceanside, Stars and the Sockers, and of course the Savage and the Strykers here 7-4 with 8 minutes and 39 seconds remaining. How about that? The Outlaws getting a dub.
Big win for the Outlaws, and it was just a common restart there after the whistle for Brian Orozco. So nothing called, nothing earned, nothing given. And Empire again, down just 3, 8:30 to go here in the fourth. Time not on their side.
Stinson trying to find De Leon in that corner. Escalante got involved. Aguirre has it. Goes back over to De Leon. De Leon's going to try to fire it. That ricochets off of Macias's feet. That ball is going to corral itself down to the Strykers' defensive third of the field as it's recovered by Marco Fabian, the most recent goal scorer in this evening's affair.
Absolutely shocked at the number of shots not taken by Chihuahua so far. Heading into the fourth, Empire out shooting Chihuahua 19-12. And Chihuahua averaging 50 shots a game over their last 4. But again, if you score with the efficiency that they've been able to do it, doesn't matter how many you take. It matters how many you put in the back of the net.
Oh, it's all just statistics and mathematics at that point. The Savage have been very efficient with their opportunities despite not having as many as the Strykers. But with the Strykers getting as many opportunities as they have, just goes to show you how much they've improved since that first meeting back in December. Ball comes back to Palmer.
Robert Palmer, 6th attacker once again. That's why he's got the bright orange kit.
You're right about that, and bright it is. Into De Leon. De Leon back over to Palmer. Palmer has been a bit of an assist machine this year. De Leon with a great move shot. That's going to come off of Romero. And with that, folks, we are going to head to our final media timeout of the evening. 7 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. The Savage up by 3, 7-4. You're watching the MASL on CBS Sports Golazo Network.
With 6 miles, runway 26 right, clear to land.
Across the nation, MASL players are giving back, utilizing their professional power to touch and inspire people in their local communities nationwide. Free soccer clinics, where kids can meet their heroes and learn new skills. After-school programs and special events. And surprise visits to the classroom. Visiting brave kids in the hospital, bringing joy and hope. Supporting special needs care, partnering with local businesses, and so much more. MASL, passion on the field, purpose off the field, committed to community.
Quick restart for the Strikers as Fabian fires it in. That comes off of the foot of Gonzalez, and Hernandez settles upon it, fires it into that left side, connecting with Miguel Angel Diaz. Palmer gets his pocket picked by Ruiz. Off of the wall, Fabian is there.
Wow, Empire lucky in that sequence there not to give up what would sort of be an empty netter there, even though Beto's back there.
And Palmer can use his hands in that position. That's going to be a foul against the Savage. Diaz going to get called for it. 6 minutes and 37 seconds separate us from a winner today. And the Savage up by 3, 7-4. But if you look at the stats, the Strikers have led statistically in their shots 25-14 currently against the Savage.
Yeah, not the storyline we thought coming through, right? Savage averaging 50 shots a game over their last 4. They've taken just 14. But look, I can do the math. They've scored on half of those shots, Philly, and that is as efficient as any team needs to be in MASL to come away with a victory. Marco run over there in the midfield.
Yeah, Fabian rolls into a steamroller, and that of Miguel Angel Diaz.
Fabian helped up, and the restart will happen just outside the yellow.
6 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter.
Time again not on the side of Empire. Down 3. But if Marco Fabian's in the building, he's within range. So let's see what happens. This would be a deep one, though.
Fabian finds Palmer in that corner. He chips it high. Ball stays in play.
Not sure that's what Beto wanted to do. And now look out. Goal is wide open. Nobody there.
Jorge Rios Pareja finding the back of the net, doubling up the score for the Chihuahua Savage. When you think the Strikers were going to make their comeback, a quick answer for the Savage. Brilliant pass in from Castañeda and Pareja. Jorge Rios uncontested.
Padding the goal total now up to 18 on the season, second in the league, and none easier than if you don't have someone between the pipes. You might have heard the resignation in my voice as I saw that pass along the boards to Rios. That one may put this one in the refrigerator, although still plenty of time. 5:50 to go. Strikers down 4.
Rios is going to join Macias for multi-goal games tonight.
And again, we saw Chihuahua came in averaging 9.4 a game. Next one will put them very close to that number. And look out, 1v1 with the keeper here.
Wide open, and De Leon gets in the way. Great defense by De Leon in his second stint with the Strikers. Out of Waco, Texas. He loves himself California. Brilliant chip pass. Rios was trying to go for the Hattie.
Philly, a little bit of a pep in the step of the Chihuahua Savage right now. You kind of get the feeling like they are well out on the front foot and playing like it. Jose Gilberto Lopez was trying to get in on the brace train as well.
The brace train, I like that. Gallegos. You never felt as if the Savage really were under much duress. Very calm throughout the entire game. Great move by Gallegos to get by, trying to connect with Rios. There's a shot, kick save by Brian Orozco. Medrano with the shot.
And by the way, Reynoso has been on the bench now for the last 3 quarters, able to just rest for Chihuahua. We know how good Christian Hernandez is, but that's been big. Look out. Beautiful cross pass to number 14. I mentioned he wanted to get on the brace bus, and here he goes. Jose Gilberto Lopez, and it is now 9-4 Chihuahua.
The Savage hit their goals for average. What brilliant ball movement. Dangerous on the counter. And like I was saying, it didn't seem as if they were under any kind of duress.
Yep.
And at any point, the Savage, you alluded to the pep in the step. Once that switch got flicked, they just became dangerous. We've seen that all season long. 14 games from them. When they want to turn it up, they can turn it up. Unless they play in Cable Dahmer Arena or at Front Wave in Oceanside.
Number 77, Carlos Hernandez with a beautiful assist on that pass as well. That was a pinpoint accurate pass. And riding the brace bus now, Jose Gilberto Lopez.
That goes into the net. It's going to be a goalkeeper restart. 4 minutes and 22 seconds remaining. Seen a couple of people already head towards the exits. You said this one isn't in the refrigerator yet, but the Strykers are a little ice cold here late in the fourth quarter. Macias into Gonzalez. Just another impressive performance for the Chihuahua Savage. Off of the wall into Hernandez. Hernandez getting by Fontana's finest, Randy Martinez. Back pedals it to Escalante. We haven't really called his name all that much today. Gonzalez into Macias, back over to Escalante. And at this point, the Savage going to try to play some of that keep away. Gonzalez chests it, intercepted by Palmer.
And remember, Chihuahua doing all of this without Hugo Puentes. The offensive weapon will be available, we hope, in just a couple of days as they get set to run this one right back.
As I was chatting with some of the staff of the Savage earlier, I was asking, hey, did Hugo not make the trip? And he's like, well, Hugo's right here. He's wearing his Ray-Ban shades, looking as cool as ever. And he will be available on Wednesday. Polo into Fabian. Fabian with a shot. At least the crowd get treated to another goal by Marco Fabian.
Polo Hernandez putting in the work so that Marco Fabian, number 33, can get this one. Took a deflection off the defender, and Marco Fabian with the brace.
Are you telling me we got a Marco Polo goal? No way. I didn't see that one coming.
Unfortunately, I think this one goes Polo Marco, but either way, we'll take it as the Empire Strykers still swimming with 3 minutes, 17 seconds to go. Polo Hernandez to Marco Fabian off a defender for the brace. And there's still life, Philly.
Polo, the rookie out of Sacramento, we mentioned, played at UC Riverside. Came out of the Sacramento Republic Youth Academy. A one-on-one opportunity, a shot, and another goal. So quickly and so devastating are the Savage. They find the back of the net for the 10th time today.
Pedro Castaneda, I believe, number 31, the long pass, finding him perfectly. And yep, 1v1 with Orozco. He goes top shelf as Orozco goes low, and that puts Chihuahua in double digits. Now this is starting to shape up to be that firepower fireworks show that we were expecting coming in. It's not helpful that 2/3 of the goals, though, have gone Chihuahua's way.
Castaneda in his second year with Chihuahua. Last year only had 5 games played. Did have himself a goal and an assist. And he punches his name into today's game offensively. So many weapons possessed by the Savage. An attempt by Stinson is wide. The hustle for Marco. He's still firing on all cylinders. Ball is loose, recovered by Stinson. Stinson eyeing himself a hattie if he can convert. Shot. Misdirected, but Stinson still has it. Aguirre. They're trying to fire it into Perez. Ball is loose.
Alan Perez putting himself in a good position there, right in the middle of the box, but unfortunately they couldn't find him.
That goal that Castaneda scored, that's his 11th of the season in his 12th game, already at career highs.
Yeah, we mentioned it. Without Puentes, 6 players in double figures between these two sides, 3 apiece. So lots of firepower out there on the pitch. By the way, Marco Fabian signing autographs after the game. The line for Marco Fabian's autograph now, at least 75 deep or so over there.
I mean, looks like a New York City block worth of traffic already. Mansoret, the speedster, looking to spin.
What a move.
Oh, great move, but exceptional defense by the Savage. Aguirre trying to pull some similar moves himself, but runs into a trio of defenders. Look at the footwork of Jorge Rios. Such an exciting player to watch. Chips it into the corner for Ruiz, I should say. Orozco into Mansoret. Mansoret with the touch. Savage recover.
Minute 40 left at this point. You just hope everybody gets out of here healthy.
Yeah, this will be another meeting between these two teams in just a couple of days, as they'll run it back on Wednesday here at Toyota Arena.
You have to wonder if Coach Obasi might switch up some tactics. We saw Empire play them pretty much level as they were keeping that keeper in net. Look out.
Lopez out of trouble and a shot, a goal by Arturo Valle. But the build-up, the setup, the dime distribution. What a gorgeous goal. Alex Bostavansky and Phil Ivanko, that had better land on your watch. What a great play by Lopez, an even better goal by Valle.
Get another seat ready on the brace bus. That's 2 for Arturo Valle as well, but you mentioned it. The beautiful dime from Jose Gilberto Lopez, number 14, fresh off scoring the goal. Now he gets the helper, and they are in full stride here in Ontario, California. Chihuahua up 11-5.
Commanding lead, and they just came out of the locker room red hot. Orozco to Alami. Alami into Fabian. Tried the cheeky back heel pass to find Stinson.
Whoa.
Rios is going to kick that out, and it's going to be a top of the arc restart for the Strykers.
Yeah, that an absolute laser beam into the crowd.
Well, hopefully one lucky fan did not get an unlucky ding to the forehead. Reyes on the restart with Aguirre to the right of him, Fabian to the left of him, Alami in the box, and in the far corner, Justin Stinson. Can the Strykers at least claw one back? Reyes, shot! And if he was looking for a field goal, Emmanuel Aguirre would have had 3 points, but just got too much boot underneath that ball. And that's going to be a goalkeeper restart for Christian Hernandez. Scarv, you mentioned 3 quarters without Reynoso. Reynoso did play the first half, by the way.
Well, that's right. He did play in the second quarter. I've seen Christian Hernandez out there for this entire half.
Fabian.
Making him work a little bit there. I think Marco's listening into our broadcast. He wanted me to make sure I knew who was in goal. My apologies.
Hernandez is going to launch it. Orozco is going to try to find Fabian. Quick touch by Marco. Marco into Alami. Alami wanted to find Randy Martinez. 23 seconds remaining. Into that far corner. That looks like it was a
three-line pass.
Three-line pass, yep.
Three-line pass. That'll be coming back.
Folks, that's basically the equivalent of icing in hockey. If you're a fan of one of the fastest games, this, of course, is the fastest game on turf that's not ice. And we love
that is not ice out there. That is true.
And we love our indoor soccer here.
There's ice under it.
That's true. Fabian with a shot. That comes right off of Gallegos.
That had to hurt.
I felt it from all the way here. Rios poked away by Reyes. Great defensive play. Into Berto, trying to find Fabian. Fabian with a last-ditch effort, and that's going to come off of the netting. It's going to be a goalkeeper restart. Christian Hernandez is going to roll it through, and that's the end of the ball game, folks. An impressive and commanding second half for the Chihuahua Savage. The Strykers threw everything they could at Chihuahua, but at the end, they were just too much. A handful. Chihuahua savagely rips through the Strykers for an 11-5 result.
8 goals in the second half for Chihuahua. And again, it was that extra pep in their step that they began to play with in the fourth quarter that you just saw why it's everybody chasing the Chihuahua Savage for what looks like a 3rd year in a row.
If we look at things statistically, the Strykers are going to finish with 30 shots to the Savage is 20. 11 goals on 20 shots. You're the math teacher. That's a pretty good score if you're not taking a math test. But really good efficiency, and they've had so many players that contributed to the bottom line. In the first quarter, we had Jaime Alejandro Romero, and for the Strikers, Alan Perez. Second quarter, a couple more goals. Jose Gilberto Lopez, Brian Macias. Third quarter, right 37 seconds in. Jorge Rios, Arturo Valle, followed up by the Strikers. Justin Stinson with a brace. Eric Tovar silences that run by the Strikers. And in the fourth quarter, Chihuahua just exploded. And the Strikers did too, for that matter. Macias, Fabian, Rios, Lopez, Fabian, Castañeda, and Valle. And folks, we're going to be going down to pitch side with Panda, as she's going to be down there with an interview. Take it away, Panda.
Hey guys, I'm here with Coach Anuabasi. It looked like coming out of the half, kind of a little bit of a struggle there. Not sure they really ever got it back together. Give me your thoughts on that second half and what you think did not go right for the Strikers tonight.
You know, it's strange because we came out in the second half. The first action we did was good, and then we made some mistakes, or I can't remember the exact plays, but they scored goals like bang, bang, and that changed the momentum of what we could do in terms of now we're going to have to bring our keeper out. Now the game's going to become more chaotic, and they're so clinical. You know, you saw the moments of quality when they had to make the right weight of pass, and the guys at the back post. They're a team I admire, but I'm here to beat them. But some moments you just think, they got such quality.
Let's talk about what did go right coming in tonight. Not very good on the power play, about 20%. You guys are 100% tonight. Is that something that you guys have been working on?
Yeah, we work on it. Yeah, it was obviously an issue early in the season, and you put 5-6 good players out there, but they need some guidance. They need to. It's not working for a while, and you say, all right, we want to do this, this, and this, and once they get comfortable in certain patterns, then they can be more free. Almost by working on it and giving them some specifics, they now see different options. So it was good. Yeah, it's lovely to score those 2 goals on the power play. Yeah.
We do this again on Wednesday against this team. What do you take away from this match going forward to kind of hopefully have a little bit of a better outcome on Wednesday night?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to watch the tape back. Watching it live, you don't really get a real sense of the game. So watching it back, we'll see, try and pick some areas of weakness. I'm not sure where they are, but I'm going to watch it back and find them. And obviously, we got to come back, motivated to beat them.
I think if anyone can find them, it's you. So a lot of confidence in that for you as a coach. You've done a lot of great things with this team. So can't wait to see how Wednesday turns out for you guys, okay?
Thank you very much. Cheers.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, thank you, Panda. We're going to take a moment for a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to wrap things up. Again, your final score here at Toyota Arena, the Savage 11, the Strikers 5. Back in a moment for the conclusion of tonight's broadcast.
With 6 miles, runway 26 break, cleared on.
Indoor soccer fans, it's time to unleash a giant leap for fandom. Introducing MASL Indoor Soccer Fantasy Football. Build your dream team, invite your friends, and create your own draft league, all for free. Draft and trade players and win bragging rights as your team dominates the league. With MASLI Football, you're not just a fan, you're part of the action. Go to MASLI Football to sign up, get started, and play.
Back here at Toyota Arena, we're going to wrap this one up. The Savage with a dominating performance against the Empire Strykers, 11-5. There you see Marco Fabian signing autographs for a crowd of people that are beyond happy to see Marco. Of course, Marco, magnificent in more ways than being an indoor. 2012 Olympic gold medalist with Mexico, a legendary career at Chivas de Guadalajara. Of course, he won himself a trophy at Eintracht Frankfurt. A great player, but his efforts not enough to beat the Chihuahua Savage. The victory today puts Chihuahua in first place. They're still in first place with a record of 12-2-0. The Strikers with the loss go to 6-7-1. A reminder, folks, the top 8 teams make it to the MASL playoffs, which will start down in Oceanside, California at Front Wave Arena. Just a couple of quick notes as far as games go today. Congratulations to the Texas Outlaws on their first win of the season, defeating their arch rivals, the Dallas Sidekicks, 6-4. The Kansas City Comets win 7-3. Chihuahua Savage beat the Empire Strykers 11-5. And underway at San Diego, it's currently 1-0 Sockers against the Stars. Goals courtesy of Tavoy Morgan. Let's take a look at the final stats of today's game. What do you see up on that screen, Scarf?
Efficiency, 11 goals on just 20 shots. That's 55% for those of you scoring at home. Just 12 saves needed for the Chihuahua Savage. And look, Empire put up 30 shots today, only 5 finding the back of the net. They showed good fight, but what we saw time and time again was the Chihuahua Savage just clinical on offense.
A tough team making a case as to why they could potentially three-peat here in the MASL. A tough game, a game in which the Strikers are going to have to assess and readdress. Both teams are going to lock horns here at Toyota Arena once again on Wednesday at 6:35 Pacific Standard Time. But between now and then, we still have got the Sockers and the Stars game, and we got some Monday Night Soccer as well as Utica City FC takes on the Dallas Sidekicks. Folks, that does it for us here tonight at Toyota Arena. Christian Filliman and J.R. Liebert on hand. We want to say thank you so much for joining us. Big shout out to our CBS Sports Golazo crew and staff for this amazing broadcast. We had a lot of fun. We hope to see you again on Wednesday. Once again, your final score, Chihuahua 11, Empire Strykers 5. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you back here on Wednesday.
The wait is over. The 2025 MASL season is here. Bigger and better than ever. Get ready for high-speed action, jaw-dropping goals, and fierce competition as your favorite teams battle it out on the field. With intense rivalries, unforgettable moments, and new stars rising, the MASL delivers excitement every week. Get your tickets now and be part of the excitement. Because this season, the action is non-stop.
Are you looking for inspiration? The FYI podcast delivers stories of inspiring individuals like the Strikers, Marco Fabian, Momo, and their remarkable personal journeys.
Because you're going to see people from all parts of life. They're us, everyday people facing everyday obstacles, and how they overcome them is a blueprint for all of us to learn from.
If you want to be inspired, subscribe to the FYI podcast.